So yesterday we started a French drain project in New Orleans, and her driveway is low in relation to the lawn. But the problem is the water comes down the driveway, it builds up in the driveway and goes through that pedestrian door, getting into that room. Let me show you here. So what I'm talking about. So her driveway would be like this, and her lawn, the lawn is high, much higher right here. You follow? The grass up top. I mean, it's mounded. Same thing on this. This side is kind of the same thing. Same thing. It's slightly up, but it's mounded and it's all sunken. Well, she doesn't really have the money to go ahead and replace this driveway, pull this thing out, and build a driveway higher. The problem is if she built the driveway higher, this is the door. This is the foundation of the house. This is, you get it. This is the door. So the driveway currently is here, coming across, and the ground is higher above it. Well, if she raised the driveway up, it just puts her more in a spot where water's entering in that side. So what's a French drain? A French drain is, we're digging this trench. We dig this trench in the ground like yay. That's the ground. That's the grass. This is my hole. This is a pipe I put in the ground. The pipe has some holes in it. It has some holes in the bottom of it. And then I fill this thing up. It's all filled with rocks. It's filled with fabric going around it. It's filled with more rocks on top. So what's going to happen is the water's going to come off her mounded lawn like this. So now let's take this side over here. This side is her driveway, right? And her driveway is coming like this. And you get it? We're coming like this. Excuse me. So that was my wife. I'm probably going to get into trouble. I probably should have taken that, but this is kind of important. So the French drain is coming. The pipes are coming. So it's paralleling the driveway. So as the water comes off the lawn, it could easily percolate into this and then find its way into the pipe, which takes it down in the direction of wherever the destination is. In our situation, the destination of where it's going is going to be, if this is the driveway coming down, and this is the sidewalk, and this is the apron going out to the street. So all this is street, okay? All this is street, and all this is sidewalk, okay? Driveway, sidewalk. We're building here. My French drain is in this area right here, right? I'm coming through. This is rocks on top. I'm just showing you rocks on top. It's coming through here. I'm going underneath the sidewalk, and in this area right in here, I'm building an attractive rain garden, and it'll have nice plants and everything in it. So what's going to happen is we're going to collect all the water into the French drain, and it's going to move it into this rain garden, where the rain garden will fill up, and once it crests as much as the water it can hold, the balance of it is going to roll out into the street. We can't just take every bit of water that we have and drop it or pump and put it out into the street to make it the city's problem to pump it out. We're going to have to mitigate the water on our own property. You know, that's also preventing water. The more runoff we put in the street, the more pollutants we have in the street. We're picking up the oil, the antifreeze, and we're moving all of that into the canals. Let's go check out the project. We're going to go to site, and I'm going to show you where we are with it right now. Okay, so here we are. The guys are now digging out, prepping for the rain garden, and as you can see, looking at the side of the house over here, they've already prepped for the French drain. It's going to run across, let me show you, all of this. So the ground is higher, so everything's rolling into it. You can actually see from the lawn. See from the lawn how high the yard is in relation to the concrete. Everything is pooling there. Everything. So what we're going to have is all that water's pooling is now going to go into the French drain when it's full, and it's going to run out along the house and go out this direction to fill right into the rain garden right there, emptying in, and like I said, then roll out into the street. All of this trench is going to be filled with rock and a perforated pipe to go ahead and let the water get back in it fast enough. Let me show you the damage that on the house that you're looking at. if you look, can you see all this rust? You see all that rust, how it's rusting out the bottom of the door? And if you can't really look, but down low, the wooden threshold on the bottom of this door, that's rotting too. Let's go look at the back. If you notice right by the back door, there's a little concrete pad right there where she comes out of. So what we're gonna do, and Gary had a really good idea with this. Look right here. You see our line from where the trench is? It's right on the edge of the driveway, and we came straight with it instead of, you know, bumping it over next to the house. The problem is she has an old drainage system that's tied onto that first gutter downspout, and it's like a terracotta pipe. It might function. I don't know if it does function. It's not part of our project, but I don't want to also, at the same time, I don't want to come across it. We don't want to damage it. So what do? We got to stay away from it. Well, here on the side of the house, that's what we're kind of doing. We're staying away from the foundation of the house. But what we're going to do, that soil that's up against the house, it's going to get covered. There you go. It's going to get covered with rock. So, and it's going to have edging along the grass side of it when it's done. So theoretically, what's going to happen, she'll be able to walk from the driveway on what's going to look like a gravel pathway coming to the backyard and going around the turn and even going to the back door. I'm going to go check on Gary and the guys. So I heard back from the guys. The project's rocking along pretty good. They're running into a little bit of rain right now, so that's something we're gonna have to contend with. I'm hoping it doesn't slow everything down. I'm hoping they're able to continue moving through it. The rain is really starting to come down now. Not heavy, but enough to get me wet. So let's end this now. It's nice to still see that thing filling up though. Well, the rain garden project is finished. The French drain is finished. Let me show you the finished product. Over here, you see, that's it. Everything's planted. You see the irises sitting in the bottom and the drift roses up top. They're gonna be great. I mean, right now, the Louisiana irises, they're not standing that tall, but like if you measured it from the top, I think by the when they start to mature and grow, the tops of them might be equal to the tops of where you're looking at right now of the drift roses. So you'll get to see this grassy thing when you're driving by. And then on the edge, you have all this ajuga. Ajuga's great. Google that. Google ajuga. Ajuga's fantastic. I mean, it's durable as all hell. It stands up in very wet conditions. It stands up in very dry conditions. It blooms. I mean, it's a fantastic plant. And on the backside, those drift roses. They're roses, but they're going to stay small, and you don't have to baby them. I mean, you could prune them hard, and they're going to bloom prolifically. You know, they're not a cuttable rose. They're just it's a rose that's going to go ahead and give you lots of blooms. It's kind of a shame they're not blooming right now, though. See? So now she has a little gravel pathway. Now it's a French drain underneath the pathway the entire way, all the way headed out towards the street. It's going out there. So that gutter downspout, it's going to go ahead and dump right into it. It's going to work out fantastic. Let me show you what her next option is, and let's call that phase 2. If she needed additional, let me show you where you'd put that. Okay, so remember at the back door, we talked about the back door on one of the earlier parts in the video. We talked about how the water was building up in the driveway, and then it was going underneath that doorway into that room. Well, if right now I don't expect the driveway to ever fill back up again, because one side, it's open. The water could drain out, so it shouldn't build back up. But let's say the driveway is sloped towards the house. That wasn't the part of this project, but let's say it was sloped towards the house and she needed to have defense there. Phase 2 would be, let me back up so you can see it better. Phase 2 would be of us saw cutting over here, the bottom of the concrete, this direction, along it. See it? There you go. Like from the pot. So imagine from the edge of that pot to the house. You know, we'd saw cut that out, remove that out, and we'd tie it into the drain. So it'd come over and it'd tie right into the existing French drain and then exit where all the other stuff is exiting. So that's it. That's for the project. So this has been fun. I hope you like the project that we did. Look at some of the other stuff that we have. I'll be posting more videos with other projects so you can see how we build them, how they're done, and what they look like in the end, and what problems they serve. Thanks a lot, y'all.